Hey everyone, it's Jeff. Welcome back to the YouTube channel, and today I'm talking about one of my favorite players, Darius Garland. And this is going to be kind of like a quasi film review, whatever. I'm nowhere near like smart enough or good enough at like video editing to give you like a thinking basketball level production, but I am gonna splice in some a few clips. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted or whatever. But yeah, like basically I just want to like tell you why I think Darius Garland has all of the tools to be a future NBA superstar. And obviously I'm not saying he's destined to be one, but I'm going to outline some of the things that might hold him back as well. But hopefully you enjoy. So like and subscribe if you want to see more of this type of video, and let's get into it. So you might be asking, what's so special about Darius Garland, Jeff, and why do you like him so much? Let's take a look at his stats from last year real quick, right? Nothing special. 17.5 points a game, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, right? He shot 45% from the field, 40% from 3. That was the sophomore season at the age of 21, right? And that was after like a pretty mediocre rookie season in which he averaged like 12 points per game, 4 assists, and was pretty inefficient. So he hasn't exactly had like this like superstar start to his career. And I'm not claiming he's gonna be the next like Steph Curry or whatever, right? I just think he can be like this multiple time all-star, average like, be a top 10 point guard, averaging like 24 points per game, 6 assists and be efficient, right? That's the type of player that I think Garland can be. So yeah, cool stats, right? But nothing exceptional. And the stats aren't what I want to focus on, right? Because to me, I think Garland has that rare blend of ball handling and natural scoring instincts combined with the actual like craftiness and skill to really finish these plays, right? And I think this is what will get him to be like a 23, 24 points per game scorer very soon. Hopefully by next season if, he really breaks out. And I'll show you what I mean by that, okay? So on his first play, beautiful move, beats his man off the dribble, right? And then he hits him with a little shoulder bump, knocks him off balance, and that's a beautiful shot, right? And I think it's that ability to just really just create offense out of nowhere because of his ball handling ability that makes Garland, special in my books, right? You see guys like Allen Iverson and Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry too, right? These guys who, they're such great ball handlers, they can get to wherever they want to go on the floor, and they just, break their man down off the dribble all the time, right? It's that instant offense ability, and I think Garland has that same skill, right? He's truly one of the best ball handlers in the league right now, and I think that's going to make him a star. And on this next play, similar thing, right? He does this little Steph Curry step back with the ball still live, pump fake, and beautiful pass, of course, but it's little stuff like that. The little step back where he's pump faking with the ball still alive in his hands, right? Like, I see Steph do that, and I go, holy cow, like, Garland, I'm not saying he's Steph, of course, but like these are the type of skills and moves that you see stars pull off, right? And literally, the next play down, he makes this beautiful like sidestep, step back three, right? You see like Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry shoot this all the time over a 7-footer, right? Like these are shots that a star player makes, right? These are tough shots that you just need your stars to hit when you can't get a bucket. And Darius Garland, he's making those shots right now. Like, I'm being serious. He's one of the most fun players to watch in the league right now for me, just because of his creativity and his craftiness, right? And I will say, of course, he's not perfect, and the one thing that kind of concerns me the most, right, as a big fan of his, is his finishing and his overall slashing abilities, because that's what kind of held him back so far in his career in the NBA right now, right? And he's like 6'1", not that big, right? And while he is pretty quick, he's not very explosive or athletic like vertically, so he's not gonna get the same like Russell Westbrook or Derrick Rose type finishes around the basket, right? So he has added this little like floater game, right, to get some more scoring opportunities within like 10 feet of the basket. So in this play, right, this is a beautiful shot too, right? He's gonna get to the paint, and Jakob, he's backing up, and at this free throw line, this is where you kind of decide, am I gonna pass the ball? Am I gonna take it out to the basket, or am I gonna shoot? And Garland, he says, okay, Poto is backing up right now, he's on his heels, so he just settles and takes a great floater, right? That's a great shot. And obviously that's a wonderful shot, right? But obviously you can't subside on that unless you're Tony Parker, who's like the best floater shooter in NBA history, right? You can't really do that all the time because, layup is just easier than a floater all the time, right? And on this next play, I think that's where his weaknesses kind of come through a bit more clearly, right? So Garland, he's gonna get all the way to the basket, right? And I'm gonna pause right here real quick. So right here, he's surrounded by guys who are bigger, taller, longer, and more athletic than him, right? So Garland, he's not a great free throw drawer, right? He only averages like 2 free throws a game, and it's because of stuff like this. When you're against someone who's, this much bigger than you, of course, you have the option of like leaning away from him, but he's too close to the hoop, and he's too close to the defender to the point where, kind of fading away actually helps him, right? So in this situation, you have to just go straight into the big guy, right? hope for a free throw or hope to like knock him off balance before you even jump, right? That's what he did against his last defender in that Hornets clip, right? But here, he just kind of half-heartedly leans away, and then Kem Birch is like 7 feet tall, and he just eats that shot up, right? Garland, unfortunately, just doesn't have the same like quickness or burst as like Kemba Walker or, Derrick Rose again, but he also doesn't have the same like circus acrobatic ability of like Kyrie Irving, which I don't expect anybody to have the same like abilities as Kyrie, right? But I'm just saying, because he doesn't have those same tools, he hasn't been able to convert consistently around the basket so far in his NBA career, especially because he's not getting to the free throw line very often. At the same time, I do think Garland has shown some of the craftiness you need to really be a successful like small guard finisher around the basket, right? For instance, on this play, he gets all the way to the hoop, and that's a beautiful pump fake into a little lean-in step through shot, right? Like, that's a play that shows patience and just overall craftiness, right? You can score with that move in the NBA. Goran Dragic is fantastic at using that move. So it's stuff like that that gives me some more like optimism, right? Because I just know, okay, he's not completely outmatched as like a finisher on the basket, right? Because some guys, they just never figure it out. But, plays like that show that Garland has the ability to really make that a better part of his game. One more thing is playmaking. I think Garland is a great passer already. I think he's adequate at least at a point guard position. One more thing is playmaking. I think that Garland is a adequate playmaker, right? Not a bad passer, average like 6 assists a game. But at the same time, I do think it's kind of like inside-outside playmaking could improve, right? In terms of like driving kicks, because he's a great passer when it comes to like making passes from the perimeter inside the paint. So watch this play, for instance, right? This is a beautiful pass to Jared Allen. He zips that right through. Perfect timing, perfect placement. Like, that's just rock solid, right? But at the same time, when Garland himself is driving and he needs to, hit an open shooter, you don't see him make these plays quite as often, For instance, once again, against the Raptors, who he kind of struggled against because of their size and length and athleticism, he's going to make this beautiful move and get past, I think, Anunoby, right? And right here, you can see Pascal Siakam has committed to Garland, right? He's left, I think, Isaac Okoro wide open in the corner. And right here, this is the pass that Garland needs to make right now, right? Because, yeah, Siakam could, still make it over there in time, but this would be an open shot by NBA standards. But instead, he takes it all the way to the basket, and I'm going to pause real quick again. And right here, once again, he's going to be surrounded by guys who are bigger, taller, and stronger than him, right? And ideally, he should have just pump faked again and, shot the little, like, lean and step he did last time, but the chances of kind of drawing all 3 defenders into a pump fake are pretty low, and he should recognize that if there's 4 players in the paint right now, and they're all around me, there are people wide open on the perimeter, right? But he doesn't, and then once again, he gets kind of annihilated by like 2 different defenders here. So yeah, I do think Garland's inconsistencies when it comes to like recognizing shooters when he's actually driving towards the basket also does kind of hurt his slashing game, in addition to like his inconsistencies at finishing around the hoop over bigger, taller guys, which it's always going to be a tough ask out of, small point guards, but if you want to be a star, you need to figure that out, right? With some guys like CJ McCollum and D'Angelo Russell, they never quite really do, right? Because, both of those guys, awesome ball handlers, awesome shot creators, and outside shot makers, but because they don't have the athleticism or like the, I guess, Kyrie Irving bag when it comes to like finishing really close around the basket and just drawing free throws like that, they don't have the physicality in their game. That's why they're not like, real like NBA superstars. They're awesome, of course. They're like borderline all-stars, but they're not true, I guess, like perennial all-stars or whatever. So yeah, that's also probably the biggest challenge for Garland. If he can consistently like finish and convert and draw free throws around the hoop, right? And make like finishing within 5 feet of the basket above average part of his game too, right? Because that's what separates the superstars from like the, borderline all-stars, right? And once again, I'm not going to tell you that it's going to happen for sure, right? But I can tell you that I've seen glimpses of it kind of happening, right? Where he has made some great like, really cool looking funky layups, and he's just, doing those little scoop shots and double clutch up and unders where you go, hey, maybe he does have a little circus acrobat to his game, right? But other times against, these really big, stronger guys, athletic guys, he does struggle to convert around the hoop. As for defense, I'm not going to say that I don't consider it important, because obviously defense is important. But I think when it comes to like determining is a player like a star or not, I don't think it's very, that important when it comes to like recognizing that, because I think these like stars come from like offensive contributions, right? But defensively, I don't think he is bad, but I don't think he's ever going to be like good or be close to making an all defensive team. I think with Garland, he'll probably just be like this average defender for his career. He won't be positive, but he won't like kill you either. But for a 6'1" guard who has like limited physical abilities, like that's fine. Not everyone's like Chris Paul or Kyle Lowry, right? Who are these like bigger, bulkier, stronger guards who can really handle guys who are bigger than them. But at the same time, I think Garland is like athletic enough to play in the NBA still, of course. Like he's not a below average athlete. I think he's just like average athletically, right? So he can hang in there with most point guards, but you put him against like, you know, a really fast, quick twitch guy like John Moran and De'Aaron Fox, he might struggle, or against like this really big guard like Kate Cunningham or Luka Doncic, yeah, he'll also struggle too. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. I know this is like a relatively short video compared to my usual longer videos, but I've said everything I wanted to say, of course, so I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you for the next one.